This first challenge measures your acceleration and braking ability. Accelerate as hard as possible when prompted, and then bring the car to a complete stop inside the marked zone 100 meters ahead. Finish within the target time to earn game credits and trophies. You'll need to correctly judge how much time and pavement it'll take to stop the car effectively. Use the various signs and markers as your braking point. This will help you judge the distance needed to come to a complete stop. Your second challenge is to accelerate and bring the car to a complete stop inside a marked zone 200 meters ahead within the time limit. Your speed and the size and power of your vehicle are important factors in judging braking distance. Use various markers to find the ideal place and time to start applying your brakes. In the first of our 2 advanced braking tests, you're required to accelerate as hard as possible before bringing the car to a complete stop inside the marked zone 400 meters ahead. As car power and driving distance increase, so does the braking distance. Paying attention to track markers is even more important in order to stop in time. You should aim to stop the car right as it enters the end zone. For this second 400-meter challenge, you'll have to accelerate and bring the car to a complete stop inside a small zone 400 meters ahead. With a small stopping zone, you'll have to use track markers and memorize how much pavement it takes for your car to come to a halt. Take into consideration your vehicle's speed when determining when to apply the brakes. Only then will you achieve success. Find the optimal braking and acceleration points to maneuver through this challenge. Your speed entering and exiting a corner are important factors when racing. Make sure you slow down before turning to ensure maximum control of your car. Then get back on the gas as you come out of the corner. For this test, you'll need to start braking as you initiate turn-in. The key here is to brake and turn separately in the beginning. Get your braking done first, and then start turning the steering wheel. Once you get used to this, you can start overlapping the two. Use this first challenge to understand a car's handling features and response time. Any major deviation off the track will result in an instant disqualification. The steering angle will increase and decrease according to the length of time the direction key is pressed. Try to learn how much a car turns according to how long the button is pressed. Maneuver through this right-to-left gradual S-turn and race to the finish line. In a mild S-turn like this, you'll want to minimize the amount of steering input and try to race through in a straight line as much as possible. Drive so that you clip the inside of each corner. Find the apex on this tight 180-degree hairpin turn. Make sure to use all of the road here to stretch this corner out as much as possible. Don't just stick to the inside of the turn because you'll end up steering too much. The less steering you do, the faster you'll get through corners like this one. Test your racing technique at Fuji Speedway's Coca-Cola high-speed corner. The goal is not to lose too much speed on entry and exit full throttle. Finding the optimal racing line is key when negotiating a racetrack. Always look to clip the apex of every corner, but stay wide before turning in and when going out. Use all of the track. This dirt course in the Swiss Alps is the ideal place to get your feet wet in the world of rallying. Use the full width of the track, making sure your racing line gets you out of the corners with as much speed as possible. Maintain a constant speed by rhythmically tapping on the throttle. The right-hander just before the goal is fairly tight, so having the right entry speed here is key. The high-speed rings S's go from a large corner to a tight one. Find the optimal driving line and race to the finish. The first corner is fairly long, so maintain a steady speed by regulating the throttle. Too much will force you to the outside of the corner and away from the apex. Try to stay on the inside of each corner. Negotiate your car through Suzuka's tricky left-right left S's. Stay on the track and head for the finish line. Finding a rhythm is important when tackling a series of challenging S's. Use both the steering wheel and throttle to weave your way through the corners. Drive through this technical section where you go from a high-speed chicane to a medium-speed right turn. You'll need to switch directions quickly. You can get through the right corner after the chicane quickly if you power slide or drift through it. However, if your car is angled too much, you'll lose time instead. This is a difficult challenge, going from high speeds into a consecutive hairpin. Brake and get your car to drift into the corner. The most important thing about successfully getting through this hairpin is slowing the car down and turning into the corner at the right time. If you don't brake enough or turn in quickly enough, you'll go wide in the corner and miss your apex. If you stick to the inside of the first hairpin, it'll be easier to be in the right position for the next corner. Challenge the last section of Opera Paris, where the course is narrow and there are repeating corners. Be careful not to hit the walls. When confronted by consecutive corners, you'll need to make sure your car is always in the right position for the following corner. Make sure you know exactly when to get on the brakes and when to get back on the throttle for maximum speed through these turns. Test your skills on this winding section of road. You'll need to always know which tire is taking on the most load. To effectively turn the car into a sharp corner, apply the brakes so the weight is shifted to the front of the car, then turn the steering wheel. This ensures maximum grip to the front tires, allowing them to turn the car more effectively. On the other end of the spectrum, during hard acceleration, the weight is shifted onto the rear tires, so your steering inputs won't be as responsive. Try braking in a difficult situation on a turn that switches from right to left, where lateral Gs are placed on the car. Getting used to the handling balance from mid-engine cars can be tricky. Because the engine's mass is behind you, the car's rear end has a tendency to come around if you're not careful with the brakes and throttle during a turn. For best results, brake in a straight line. Also, try regulating the brake pedal by tapping it to prevent wheel lockup.